Hi, good to see you again. I'm Dr. Stephen Chang, a Chang Associate Professor in the University of Singapore. Well, in last testimony sharing video, I shared about how God led me through developing my career as a young surgeon. Well, today I'm going to share with you that God not just helped me prepare my career, but flourished it so that I can fulfill the vision that He had given me. If you remember in my last video, I said as a medical student, I saw in a vision that I was doing surgery and I was surrounded by very dark-skinned people. So even as I was struggling in my traineeship, in my years as a young surgeon, I held on to God, or rather God held on to me, and I continued to develop my passion for mission. So I would frequently take time off for short mission trips to different countries like Cambodia, to Indonesia, to northern Thailand, to Iran, and even to a place called Timor-Leste, a newly founded country. So I remember my very first trip to Timor-Leste. At the time, I did not know much about the country. So we just went for team building, and I was introduced about this country. And part of the introduction was that the pastor would bring a booklet of pictures from previous team trippers, who were mission trippers, and will share around for us to have a look at this situation in Timor-Leste. So I remembered very clearly that the booklet was passed to me as we circulated it around. And as I opened it, lo and behold, I found that those people who were living in Timor-Leste, they were very dark-skinned, and they looked like those people that were surrounding me in my vision. I was very surprised. But anyway, I just felt, could this be the place that God wanted me to serve as a missionary surgeon? But I left it as that. I continued to tell God that, God, you lead my life, and let you take charge. Okay. So I went for further mission trips, and every mission trips to Timor-Leste, and each trips, the people truly looked like the people that I was serving in the vision that I had when I was a second year medical student. Well, having finished my advanced surgical training, I progressed on, and I became a consultant in the university, and I was very blessed. There were a lot of opportunities for me to develop in my career. I became a senior consultant in probably one of the shortest time in the history of the university hospital, and I also became associate professor in a very quick time. Because I had the motivations and inspiration from God to develop some new skills, and I was active in my research, so I had a lot of publications, and that helped me boost my CV. Because of that, I got promoted very fast and very rapidly. And I didn't know why it was so. I just do whatever that came to me, and I just led by God in doing whatever I need to do. Developing new surgical techniques, publishing about them, doing research, having new research ideas, partnering engineers from NUS, and having patents for all the discovery and all the inventions. And that really helped me to progress in my career very fast. And I just enjoyed it. I worked very hard, but I don't see at that moment what was it for. So in 2015, interestingly, I had an opportunity to get to know the then Prime Minister of Timor-Leste. Okay, and we had a meeting, a close meeting, and at that meeting, he proposed to me that I spend 1 year in the General Hospital in Timor-Leste. But of course, at the moment, he invited me because of my CV. On my CV. my CV is, I have more than 100 publications, either as a first or last author, and I have some academic achievements. And the CV was quite impressive, and when I submitted my CV to him, and he was quite impressed, and he invited me to Timor-Leste and serve in the hospital, the biggest general hospital in Timor-Leste, which is not big, okay. But at that moment, I realized, I look back, I truly realized why God gave me all the opportunities for me to develop so fast and so well in my surgical career. I realized that, yeah, it's because He always had intention for me to serve in Timor-Leste. Not just from the vision and not from the dark-skinned people that I saw, but He has been preparing me my whole career to advance me so fast and to develop a good CV so that I can be invited. It's a door, you know, the whole career and the whole career progression was a door that was open for me to enter. He was preparing all these things for me. And so in 2016, I resigned officially from National University Hospital, and I spent 1 year in Timor-Leste, and I trained the young surgeons in Timor-Leste in the general hospital, and it was very meaningful time. Now, the very first week that I was there, when I left Singapore and I went there, you will never expect this. In the very first week, what happened was that in the middle of the night, the head of department of surgery in that hospital called me up and said, "Hey, Prof. Steven Chang, there is a patient who just had an amputation of the arm because there was a gang fight, and a lady arm was amputated by a para, you know, and then we are trying to salvage the arm. Can you come and help? Because they don't know what to do." So of course I took my instruments, my magnifying glass and loops, you know, and I rushed to the hospital. And true enough, the patient was anesthetized, the arm was hanging out, the blood vessels were severed, and so the arm was pale. Yeah. So what I did, I had to try and do microsurgery to link up the arteries and the veins so that the arm can be recirculated. Yeah, and it had to be done very quickly. And part of my training as a liver surgeon, especially as a liver transplant surgeon, I had to learn how to sew blood vessels back. Yeah, because for liver transplant, we take out the liver and cut off the blood vessels, right? And we put in a new liver. We have dry up the blood vessels, and that was part of the training. So when I came to the arm, it was very much at home. The arteries were about the same size as the arteries that supply blood to the liver. It was very much at home, and I could just do the surgery. But very interestingly, when I was doing that surgery, the young surgeons, even the senior surgeons, they were all surrounding me. At that moment, I felt there's a sense of deja vu. I've seen this scene before. As I look around, and when I was doing the surgery, halfway through I look around, I've seen this scene before. God is real. If He has given you a vision, if He has given you a promise in your life, He will fulfill it. He will fulfill it. So for those who are worried about your careers, what is to do with it, submit to God. He will look after it. He will take care of you. Till the next time, I see you again.